Free Comic Book Day! So today is the first Saturday of May. For those of you guys who don't know, it is Free Comic Book Day. That means if you go to your local retailer, they will have a ton of free comic books that you can get from them. So it's kind of like a publicity thing where, hey, come down and get some free comics, and while you're at it, why don't you pick up some of our stuff? So pretty cool. So pretty excited. I went down there earlier, picked up a bunch of free comic books, and then I bought some stuff because I believe the comic books are free for the people who take them, but they're not free for the shops. I believe they do have to pay for them. So, you know, I think they paid them a reduced price, so they're not getting gouged by them, but they still have to pay, I think, at least $1 or $2 or something, $1.50, who knows how much, for the comics. So if you go down there, be sure to buy something from them to support the comic book shop. They'll just think, hey, free comic books, because it's not free for them. It's to help out the business, to get them attention, and to get some of these comic book series a little bit more attention as well. So if you go down there for Free Comic Book Day, pick up, buy some comics, at least one, you know, to say, hey, thank you for the free comic books. So, alright, so I got this fairly big bag, and I got a smaller bag in here, and some other stuff, or not really, mostly comic books that I picked up on, you know, earlier. So first of all is this Batman v Superman Man of Steel sticker set, or construction set, yeah, sticker set, so you can put stickers on this weird freaking background. So for this, I actually didn't pay for this. I don't really care for the movie all that much, and I definitely wouldn't buy any merchandise for it, or I don't even own the Blu-ray. So my comic book shop was they had a bunch of vendors and stuff outside the shop, advertising stuff or trying to sell things, and there was a radio station there. And the radio station was, you know, they were asking questions and giving out prizes and stuff like that. So when I got there, they asked one question that no one was answering. It was around, like, I literally walked up and they were asking the question, and it was, who is Elvis's favorite superhero? And if you guys don't know the answer, it's Captain Marvel Jr. So Captain Marvel Jr. was apparently Elvis's favorite superhero, and I think that's why he wore a cape and his outfit looked somewhat similar to Captain Marvel Jr. At least I believe so. Don't quote me on that. Just kind of, it would make sense. So I answered the question correctly, and I got this for free. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, in all honesty. I kind of don't want it. I probably should have given it to someone there, but if nothing else, I got a cool story to go along, you know, with this. So I can be like, hey, I answered a hard question that nobody knew, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos and read a bunch of junk on the internet. So yeah, this is the first thing I got. So next, oh my comics coming out. So that's it pretty much for the big bag. I got a smaller bag in here. Palm Springs Comic Con. Yeah, so my local comic shop, I don't have one. The comic book shop that I go to is over an hour away. So yeah, it's a good while away, and it's in Palm Springs or Palm Desert type area. It's a good shop. I really love it. So if you live in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, go check it out. So anyway, let's check out the free comic books that I got first. So I got 5 free comic books. I went with variety, so hopefully I got a bunch of good ones. So the first one I got is Catalyst Prime. So Catalyst Prime is a comic book series, or not a comic book series, but there's a comic book company called Lion Forge. So Lion Forge, they've been around for a little while, and they've been selling comics for a good while. They sell mostly children ones, I want to say, or they license comic book series. But recently, they started their own comic book universe, or superhero comic book universe, kind of like Marvel or DC. So this is the first, or the starting point. So the first comic book that explains how the universe came to be, I guess explaining how a lot of superheroes got their powers or whatnot. So it's the introduction to their superhero universe. So I'm pretty excited to read this, mostly because we don't see this too often anymore. New comic book universe being created. So, you know, most of the comic book series and universes have been around for a long time. We'll get new heroes and whatnot, but we rarely get a big new universe that has its own identity for itself. So this is, supposed to have its own unique superheroes, or somewhat unique, or at least brand new, and the whole world is brand new. So really interested to read it. I'm excited. This was one of the reasons, or one of the big things I was excited to pick up for Free Comic Book Day. So I'm pumped for it. So hopefully it's good. It doesn't let me down. Next is I Hate Image. So Scotty Young, if you guys don't know him, he usually does those chibi variants, Marvel comics where they're like little kids or whatever. Really cutesy and popular. I like him. I think they're cool. He's a good artist. So he has his own comic book series called I Hate Fairyland at Image, and this is pretty much a kind of a jokey one, kind of like Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, except this the main character, I don't know her name, I've never read the series. So the main character, she goes to the Image universe and wreaks havoc and probably kills everyone. I mean, judging from the cover, that's what it looks like. So really excited to read this. Image is one of my favorite comic book companies, so I'm excited to see some of my favorite characters like Invincible and Spawn possibly get murdered, if that's weird to say. So next is the big Marvel comic for Free Comic Book Day. This is pertaining to their big comic book event that is going on right now, Secret Empire. So if you guys don't read comics or don't know what's going on, Captain America has pretty much become evil due to comic book circumstances that I don't want to get into. So this is the big event where he reveals himself to be evil and takes over the world and everything like that. So I haven't really read any of it. I've been checking it out online. I don't think I'm going to be happy with this series because it's probably going to make him look evil. It's nothing new or spectacular superhero becoming evil. This happened to the Green Lantern. What is his name? Not John Stewart. Well, it happened to one of the Green Lanterns. I know it comes to me as soon as I'm talking about it. He became evil because he got possessed by this evil demon, and he did a bunch of evil acts. And he was evil for a long time, and he died, and he came back, and he was good. So, yeah. So I'm interested in reading it. Hopefully, it's a good, story. As it goes on, it gets more interesting. But we'll see. I don't know if this is separate from the main storyline or if it just tells pieces of the storyline. But I'm really interested in reading it. So next is a comic from Valiant's Exo Man of War. So this isn't a new series. Valiant has been around since the 90s, I want to say. I picked up some of Exo Man of War, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty much a barbarian finds a super intelligent alien armor, kind of like Iron Man type armor. And he goes on epic adventures, pretty much. I haven't read too much of the series, so I'm not really too familiar with this. But I am interested to read it. Or at least, hopefully, I think this is a restart of the series, so I'm excited to read this. Hopefully, it gets me hooked and I start buying the series on the regular. And the last comic book I picked up was Dragon Ball Super. This is just for variety's sake. There was probably a couple of comic books that were probably better, like a TMNT one, and then there was All New Guardians of the Galaxy. But I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Super, and I like manga and anime. That's a side story for Boruto too, so it's pretty cool. I'm excited to read it. I watched the Dragon Ball Super anime, and I do read the manga online, so I don't know if this is just the manga in a comic book to advertise it. Either way, I'm excited. I like this cover, so pretty cool. It's free. Can't complain. Alright, so next is the comic books I bought. Like I said, if you go to the comic book shop to get free comic books, buy some comic books from them, support them. It helps them out a lot, especially the brick and mortar stores. Tickets, okay, I did not see this because they had a raffle. So, it helps them out a lot. I usually buy a lot of my comics online because, like I said, my comic book shop is an hour away, so I don't really have the time to drive back and forth from there. But anyway, let's get into it. The first comic book I picked up was Noble. And this is the first comic book coming out of Cataclysm Prime by Lionforge Comics. So this is the first superhero comic with Noble. I don't know if that's a superhero's name or not. I'm not too familiar with this. I haven't read up on it. So I'm interested to read it. I'm hoping Catalyst Prime is good, and then Noble is also good. Like I said, I'm excited just to see a brand new superhero universe created with brand new superheroes. Something different from what I'm used to. So I'm excited to read that. And then I picked up Youngblood #1. So Youngblood is also another old comic book. It's been around since the 90s by Rob Liefeld. and it was one of those comic books where everyone was big and roided out and had a bunch of pouches and junk like that. It was definitely a big 90s comic book. Back then I didn't really hear a lot of good things about it, so I never picked it up. I never read any of the series. So I am interested to read this though, because it's it's a reboot. The series has been on and off for, since it was created in the 90s. So I am interested to read it because these characters they make them a lot more modern, so they should be a lot more relatable and likable. And as you can see, they're not huge, big 90s stereotypes. So I'm interested to read it. Hopefully it's good. And then Secret Empire #1. So there's a Secret Empire #0. I haven't picked that up. They didn't have it there. They were sold out. Again, it's the big Marvel comic book event going on with Captain America coming out as evil. I'm interested to read it. I love Marvel, so hopefully it's good. Next, this is an older comic. Probably came out last year. I've just been wanting to pick it up for a while, so it's pretty much new Superman, and it's the Chinese Superman who goes on adventures and everything in China, and there's like a Chinese Justice League and everything like that. Interested to read it. I don't know much about the character, but it was there, and like I said, I just wanted to support the shop, so I bought it. Why not? And then the last comic book I bought was ROM #1. So ROM is really interesting. Not necessarily the comic book series itself, I've never read it, but ROM has this unique, interesting history where he started off as a toy in the 70s, I want to say, late 70s, early 80s, I'm not sure. And Marvel picked up the license for the character and created a comic book series. They had this huge, epic 75 comic book issue storyline that's supposed to be really good. If you want to know more about it, Linkara, he makes YouTube videos about comic books, made a retrospective about the character. I think it's like 3 videos, at least 20 minutes long for each of them. Really interesting. It goes and talks a lot about the character and his story. If you're really interested in the character, go check it out. I really highly recommend it. Again, Linkara, great at making YouTube videos. So he used to be part of the Marvel universe, and he interacted with the X-Men and Doctor Strange and everything. But Marvel didn't re-up their license for ROM, so they lost the agreement, so they can't make comic books about him anymore, and he's not in their comic book series. So, in fact, James Gunn wanted to have him in Guardians of the Galaxy, but since Marvel doesn't own the rights, they couldn't do it. So, like I said, really interesting history, and now IDW publishes his comic book series, and now he's going to interact with the Transformers and the G.I. Joes. So it's really interesting that this character, who's been around for a long time, and I guess people like him since, mostly if these characters aren't likable, they die out. There's been hundreds of thousands of characters who have their own comic book series who have died out. So it's really interesting to see this character go from Marvel and hanging out with the X-Men and Doctor Strange, like I said, to hanging out with Transformers and G.I. Joe. So I'm interested to read this new series. Hopefully it's good and it's as good as the Marvel one. So hopefully it is. And that's it. That is it. Like I said, free comic book day today. By the time you watch this, obviously it's going to be long past. I don't got much to say. Again, support your local comic book shops. It's a great thing to do. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate you watching our videos. We make videos whenever we can. We're really, really busy, but we really appreciate you guys checking them out. We got plenty of cool ones on video games, video game reviews, movie reviews, top comics, all kinds of stuff, top 10s lists. Check them out if you have the time. If not, we understand, but they're pretty good and interesting. At least I like to think so. Again, thank you for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and catch you on the next one. Hey, if you like this video, we have several other awesome videos you can check out. And again, thanks for watching.